Okay, I think we will get started, and then as people come in, we'll just get them caught up. So, I hope that you mean to be at a session that is about multimedia circuits. I hope this is the one. I love that you're excited. Whoops. Well, I thought our names were on that slide, Becca. They are somewhere. They're hidden. My name is Kellie Yates, and this is my colleague, Becca Robeson. And we are from the STEM Action Center, and we are really excited to be here. How many of you are familiar with the STEM Action Center, just by raise of hands? Some, but not many. Excellent. I'm going to go over really quickly who we are, like where we're from, because the STEM Action Center is a government entity. Like, you are paying for us, so you should be taking full advantage of our resources. So that being said, I just want to show you kind of how we fit in to state government. So at the top there, you have the governor's office, and underneath the governor's office, there are multiple departments. The department we fit into is called the Department of Cultural and Community Engagement. And there are 7 divisions within that department. You can see we're the bottom one there. But we are sister agencies with things like Arts and Museums, the Division of Indian Affairs, State History, etc. So we partner with these other entities quite often. We were actually recently added to this department just a few years ago. So we're the newest addition to CCE, is how we abbreviate it. That being said, again, if you're not familiar with us, you may not know what we're supposed to be doing. So I put our mission and vision in here, but our mission is really to be a partner to make sure all Utahns have access to highly effective STEM education. And we do that by identifying best practices and then leveraging resources with our partners. And our vision is to make sure that STEM is accessible to all Utahns. Now, we started doing that. We're just celebrating our 10th birthday, I guess, July 1st. We're really excited. We started in K-12 schools, but we have recently been expanding our efforts to other community partners, and we're also working in the 0 to 5 space, so early learners, as well as adult learners. So we really are working on making sure every Utahn has access to effective and high-quality STEM activities and learning, but our kind of main focus is still education, both formal and informal. So that being said, we have 6 goals that we've identified, and the first one, no, you do not need to be sorry, come on in, you're all good. We have 6 goals as the STEM Action Center, and the third one, the one I made the biggest, is the one that we're focused on today, and that is to serve as a resource hub for the state. So today, one of the things I want to make sure you know about as educators is our resource library. So if you go to our website, which is stem.utah.gov, under educators, there's a tab that says educators. There is a little drop down that says resource library. And when you go to that, you're going to see a bunch of these little pictures with titles on them. And those titles are actually links to lessons that other Utah educators have created. Now, you can see when I created this slide, there were 25, but this is always growing. So you might be thinking, that's nice, Kelly, thank you. But what Becca and I, we work on this weekly together, and we have made it filterable by age group and by standard. So if you're thinking to yourself as you're getting ready for next year, you know what, I just am really not comfortable with like seed standard 4.3.2. I don't remember what that is. I'm just making up a number at this point. You can actually filter it by that standard and see if we have a lesson that another teacher has created and shared with us that then you can borrow, right? And modify for your own purposes. Or you might just want to, look through the whole library and then be like, that sounds very interesting to me. So the resource library is available to you. Another thing that is fantastic about it is if you have an activity that you're like, this worked so well with my students, you can also contribute to it. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Yeah.
Do you have this kind of on the website, or how can we write it down now?
Yes, please. I'm going to show you how to access all of this. So this is our website, stem.utah.gov. And then yours won't have this line across it. This is just there because I have the back-end access, and when I go to it, it automatically pulls up. So yeah, stem.utah.gov. And then you would go to educators right here. And then when the drop down comes up, resource library. And then this is the page that first comes up. And you have this thing that's like this little blurb. You can tell I wrote it. This is my language. It says, are you looking for the searchable resource library? Search no more. And click here. Yeah, that's me. But on this first page, there is a STEM community event calendar that's actually, I need to update it. The last thing on it is this conference. So it's time to update self. I will update this tomorrow, okay? We update it on Thursdays. The next thing on the right-hand side is a map of all of our programs and where they are around the state. So you can actually zoom in like on your school or on your district and see which programs are being utilized at your district and school. And you could also determine, oh, we are not taking advantage of these programs. Let's get more involved. Things like that. Okay, now down at the bottom, whoops, or you could just zoom out. Down at the bottom of this page are 3 links to Google Forms, and I want to show you these, and then I'll show you that searchable list. So this first one, this first form on the left-hand side, is where if you have an activity that you have created that you would be willing to share with others in the state, which I would just love, right? You can click on this form. It'll take you to a Google form where you can tell us about your lesson and upload any resources you have, like if you have a Nearpod link or a Canvas page link, you can share those with us, and then I will upload them to the resource library. And like I said, that gets done on Thursdays, so give me, like if I don't get to it that first Thursday, I promise I will get to it. The middle one, this link is to let us know if you are looking for a guest speaker. So we have a list of industry partners that one of our team members keeps track of. Her name is Gina. And these industry partners have indicated that they would be interested in being a guest speaker. We indicate on this form that, they have said that they could be virtual guest speakers depending on your location. So what Gina does is when she gets a request from a classroom teacher saying, I'm looking for a guest speaker regarding this career or this topic, she'll match you and then connect you and the industry partner, and then the two of you can plan what that's going to look like. So if you're looking for a guest speaker, we can help with that. That's how you make that connection. And then the third one is an opportunity to let Becca and I know. So Becca and I are always looking for specific state standards that we can help design a maker-aligned lesson for. So Becca is our maker manager, essentially. I mean, that's not her title, but that's what Becca does. The maker manager. Becca is our innovation hub manager, which the innovation hub is the name of our makerspace. And I'm our professional learning person. That is also not my title. My title is the collaboration and program development manager, but I do our professional learning. So the two of us work together often to make sure that we are providing examples of standards-aligned maker activities for educators. Now, we would love for our example lessons to be of use to you. So instead of us just coming up with, hey, you know what would be fun? This lesson, we would love for them to be aligned to standards you actually need support with. So this is a place for you to let us know which standards you would like assistance with the caveat that, like, please don't tell us that you need help with a specific standard tomorrow, because we need some time. This is just a portion of what we work on. So the more advance notice you can give us, the better, because sometimes it's a content we aren't familiar with, so we have to learn the content first, and then we create the lesson. So give us some time, okay? But that's where you can let us know which standards you would like support with, and then we'll contact you and get some more information from you and go from there. We'll work with you to develop an activity, and then we will share that on the resource library for everyone in the state to utilize. So that all being said, I'm just gonna scroll back up and go back to this link, search no more, click here. This is where we're gonna click. And this is where you get all these pictures, okay? And there are a couple of pages right now. So to get to this filter, I'm just gonna click those 3 lines. And then you can filter by role. So if you're a parent or a student or an educator, you can filter by the age or grade you're looking for. You can filter by math, CTE, or science. We called them the strand because we didn't put in each, well, you'll see. Here, I'm just going to put it in. So I'm going to click on, yes. So once I click yes on, for example, the science strand, then it's going to pull up the different strands here. So you'll see, strand 1.1, it doesn't go into the standards underneath it, 1.1.2.3. We just stuck to the 1.1 because otherwise the list got unbearably long. So we just stuck to the strand, and then you can indicate which one, for example, forces, and then apply, and there's just one for that particular grade right now. However, I know I have some on the list that have been submitted that I just need to put in over the next couple of Thursdays. So that's what that looks like, and that's how you can filter it. Or again, you're welcome to look through the whole thing. All right, any questions about the resource library? This is something that we've just been working on this year, and again, we work on it once a week, so it is in its infancy. If there is something that you would like us to change about it or add to it, please feel free to let us know. I'll show you our emails at the end of today, and you can say, I would really love to see X, and we will work as a team to continue to improve this as we're able. We're also learning how to code. So we can do this, so be patient with us. But it has been an excellent learning opportunity for us to, just to delve into a whole bunch of things that we didn't know how to do previously. All right. So today's lesson, our multimedia circuits lesson, is actually on the resource library. So you are welcome to use this as you would like. The presentation is on there, but of course you can change it as you'd like. So what we use today is there. You're welcome to download it, copy it, change it so it works for your students. And all of the lessons that we've been designing this year will be on there, so you can use them as you'd like with your students. All right, so we are talking about electricity. Which grade is electricity taught in now with SEED? 4. How many of you are 4th grade teachers? Excellent. Beautiful. How comfortable are you teaching electricity? Give me like a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side. I love this. You're like, it depends on the day. Let's be real. Okay, beautiful. So I used to review electricity when I taught 7th grade, and my students were like sometimes they would be like, I'm going to put a battery inside and the steel wool, let's see if I can start a fire kind of thing. And I was like, excellent, you are too comfortable with electricity. And then there were the students that were like afraid to touch anything because they were worried they were going to get shocked. And it was like, okay, we've instilled a little too much respect in you. Let's see what we can do. So there are some, we need to balance this. So let's just do a quick review. Electricity is moving electrons. All right, that's all it is. So we have an atom, and in the middle of an atom, we have our protons and our neutrons, those that are inside the nucleus. And then moving around those, we have electrons. And electricity is just moving those electrons in a path. All right? What are some examples of electricity that you can think of? And think about what your students would come up with as examples as well. What would they say?
Lightning.
Lightning, excellent. What else, what might they think of?
Video games.
Video games, excellent. What was that?
Static. Mm-hmm.
Static. Perfect. Think of anything, what else might they think of? Lights. Mm-hmm. Cell phones. Yeah, like the stuff that we use that you have to plug in to charge, right? Things that use batteries. Some of them might think of like cars or tractors, especially if you live in a rural community. They might think of like those heavy machinery kind of things. All right? Okay. Getting a little deeper, we already mentioned this. Circuits are those paths that we create to have electrons move along. All right, are we comfortable with that? So circuits are just the paths that electrons move along. So I made a little path that my electrons are moving along. And we are going to be creating circuits. And we're going to do that using some tools. So Becca and I are going to give you an LED, which stands for a light emitting diode. So it emits light. What does emits mean?
Sends out.
Yeah, it sends out light. It's very small, so it's not going to put out that much light, right? It's like a little light bulb. A battery, all right? And then here's another new word, a conductor. What might your students think of when we say the word conductor? What's going to come to their minds?
Trains.
Yeah, trains or a music conductor. Excellent. So let's just, oh, you know what? We're not going to get into conductors yet. I got ahead of myself. I was so excited. Okay, Becca, would you explain this part?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is that pick one person from each table. One person is going to come up and they're going to get a battery for every person at their table, and they're also going to get one of these LEDs. For the sake of this experiment, I want you to get a variety of colors for your table, okay? Then bring them back to your table, and the challenge for now is to light up your light bulb, all right? So decide who's going to come up, send one person that'll gather the supplies, and then bring them back. Oh, how beautiful is that green one?
Excellent. We've got some lights over here. Love it.
That's a cool experiment over here. Look.
I know.
3 are lit up.
Okay. Yes. All right. I see success over here and at that back table.
Yeah.
All right, we have some success over here. If one of your table partners has not experienced success, maybe you could try to help each other. Let's make sure everyone at each table has experienced success lighting up a
I just said
light.
grab a few. So grab all the colors at least and get as many as you want. We've got like 500 in there, so. Are there any music teachers in here? Music teachers? I was going to suggest we all sing a song and then...
Or you could be a music conductor and use that as with your baton.
All right, do we all have them lit up? Thumbs up if you got yours to light up. Thumbs up if you got yours to light up.
Okay, I'm seeing mostly thumbs.
All right, keep your thumb up if you were able to get it on your first try. All right, put your hands down. Those of you that didn't get it on your first try, what did you notice about your battery and your light?
There's a certain method to the shorter and lighter.
Exactly, yeah. If you look at your LED, you'll notice that one leg is longer than the other leg. Does anybody know why that might be? Exactly, positive and negative.
Sorry,
LEDs are polar.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're okay, Kelly. Thank you guys for using the tools around you.
It's hard not to take when I call top man, that's hard.
So one leg is longer than the other. This is really important. Remember, put this in the back of your brain because when we do our project in a minute, you're going to have to remember that one leg is positive and one leg is negative. Which leg is positive? The long one, okay? It gets harder to determine which leg is longer when you bend these, right? So in your project, you might have to bend them. What I do with our students in the makerspace is that I usually take a Sharpie, and I just color one leg, and that way they can look at the colors once it's bent and be able to kind of determine which leg is positive and negative. All right, so our next experiment is we have some materials here on the table. We have Play-Doh, pipe cleaners, yarn. This is like plastic lacing stuff that you do for like boondoggle. We've got alligator clips. Why are they called alligator clips? They do. Have you ever been pinched by an alligator clip? It does hurt. They look like little alligators. And then we have this stuff, which you're going to experiment with it. Again, send one person up to your table. We're going to start thinking about conductors and insulators. So conductors are materials that electricity can travel through easily. And insulators, electricity can't travel through it easily. So send somebody up from your table, gather some materials. Every table can have one ball of Play-Doh. These are from my makerspace, so you'll notice that some of them have glitter in them. I wonder if that affects its.
Take one of each thing.
If there's like a huge pile, take a few.
Okay.
But only one Play-Doh for each table. Once you get back to your tables, I want you to try to see if these materials conduct electricity. And the wires, you might have to strip either side, and I can show you how to do that with the scissors on your table, okay? And we're going to give you like 5 or 6 minutes to test these materials out. Let's talk. I know that some of you are still experimenting, but we have more stuff for you to do. So we got to get through this, and then I promise you're going to like the last activity. So let's talk. Pipe cleaners. Are they conductors or insulators?
Conductors.
Conductors. Why?
Is that metal?
They've got this cool metal in the middle, right?
And you can shave them with scissors.
Yeah. This group shaved them, and they worked even better. Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Conductor? Yeah. Why?
Salt.
The salt, exactly. What about the yarn? An insulator? Correctamundo. What about the lacing strip, the plastic? Insulator. Correct. What about the wires you have? We've got our alligator clips and the white stuff with the solid core. That's also a wire. Were those conductors or insulators? Conductors. Conductors. Perfect. All right, Kelly, should we move on to the next slide? All right. So there's another material that we're going to talk to you about. This right here.
I think that this deserves a little trumpet. This particular. Thank you.
Okay. This right here is copper tape. Do we think it's a conductor and insulator? Exactly. This is so cool. You can do so many projects with it, and it's also like dirt cheap. You get 4 of these rolls, which I think are, I'd have to look up how many yards they are, for $10. I've seen schools do copper tape activities with their kids for like STEM nights and are able to get enough copper tape for all of their students for like $30. It's very, very inexpensive, and you can do so many things with it. We are going, since this is an art conference, we are going to use materials. We're going to give you access to copper tape, your LEDs. We've got paper here. We've got markers. In the back, we've got hot glue guns. We've got stick glue, we've got tape, we've got Play-Doh, we've got any of this stuff up here. Your challenge is to create a piece of art that lights up, okay? I'm going to give you a couple of tips with the copper tape. You'll see that one side right now is that nice coppery color, but the other side is white. That's because this side is the side with the adhesive. If I were to take this white part off, then this tape would be sticky. But the trick is, if I just go like this, it's going to curl up on me, okay? So make a plan with your artwork. And luckily, this one I could probably salvage, but sometimes they curl up so severely that, that it becomes trash, okay? If that does happen, that's okay. Like I said, we've got lots of this. Some of the takeaways from your experimenting, right? The positive and the negative sides need to stay disconnected. What happens when, did anybody do an experiment with their battery where you put conductive materials on either side and it created a loop without having your LED involved? Anybody accidentally do that? Maybe your battery got really hot. That's because you're creating a closed circuit with nowhere for the electricity to, nothing for the electricity to flow into. So if you do that for a really long time, that will make your battery leak battery acid. So be very careful with that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. But you can think of electricity like water, right? Water always takes the path that's the easiest. So if you have this little closed circuit around your battery, the electricity is going to go on that path, and it's not going to light up your LED. So, so make sure as you're building your work of art that that you've got in your mind the positive side of my battery needs to go to the positive side of my LED, and the negative side needs to go to the negative side, and those can't touch, or else it'll short circuit. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, you do have a time limit, and that is because we have a time limit. Uh-huh. Okay, so you can see on my timer that you have 15 minutes. So it's not a masterpiece, it's a first draft. All right? You can make it lovelier later. But we're going to give you 15 minutes, and then we are going to give you time for a short gallery walk to see what other people did. So don't fret, like it'll be okay. Becca, we forgot to bring our examples.
I know, I realized that as I was unpacking everything.
It's okay, we'll tell you about them before we start our gallery walk. So just so you can also think of how you could use this with content standards, in addition to just using it as an activity to learn about electricity. So I'm gonna push start. I'm sorry, you're gonna miss 4 seconds. That was my bad. Here we go. We're bringing you stuff. Or send your person.
Yeah, send your person to come and gather things. And if you end up needing more copper tape, we have a lot, so feel free to come up and use as much as you need. All right, folks. I know that I see a lot of lights turning on, which is so awesome. We have about 10 more minutes left of this session, 12 more minutes. No. It's true. We wish you could stay all day with us. But we want to do some reflection, because a STEM activity without reflection is kind of meaningless. So, Kelly, you want to take it away from here?
Yeah, I think about it.
I don't remember what our next slide is.
Well, our next slide is, I've done something. What did we do? It's broken. Oh, it was our gallery. So, regardless of whether it worked or not, okay, we do want you to just take a few, let's actually do this. Could one person, at least one person from each table, just kind of stand up and show what you were working on or what you were working toward with the rest of the group? I think that would be meaningful. So people can get some ideas as how they could incorporate this into their class. Because you all took a different approach to this, which is great, because we were trying to create art using electricity. So, which table? In fact, I'm going to call on you guys because you took things in this direction. Stephen, yes, would you guys share what you did?
Ooh, light up coffee cup.
Can you guys show what you did here? It doesn't matter if it works. Just show what you did.
This is my twisty roller coaster.
A roller
and
coaster.
it's a piece of work, let me tell you. But at least it lit up.
That's awesome.
We didn't clap for the last folks.
Woo!
Okay, and then we have I see directions, touch here.
Yeah, so I made like a birthday card or something, I don't know, but that has light up sprinkles.
That is so cool.
I love that.
A light up card.
Okay, will someone from this table share what you were working on?
I did a star.
A star.
I think I put too many lights though, so yeah.
That's okay. I love that. Does anyone else from this table want to share? You don't have to. I'm not going to make you.
I'll show. I was just trying to do a spiral, but for some reason it's not working.
We will help you. We'll be back. Okay.
If I can get it to stand out, but it's just people holding hands and there's a heart in the middle. So.
It's a sculpture. That's so brilliant. Yay!
Yes, thank you. Does anyone else at this table want to share? Do you want to share?
We've got a cool robot.
I made a robot. I think he'll work if I hold him up.
Yeah! Woo!
Are you willing?
But the connection's not the best, so you have to push on it.
It's just like a light switch.
That's okay. You had 15 minutes to make a house. Well done.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I love it. Okay, thank you.
Woo!
You guys, these are really clever, and I'm sure as we're going around, you're thinking, oh, I could use that for, right? Okay, tell us what you made.
We were going for a gnome hat. We didn't quite finish, but it does light up, I promise. But it's a little gnome hat.
That's so cute.
Tell us what you made.
We made a traffic light, but it's stuck on red.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
Yeah, we've all been at that light.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you. And our final table, what did you tell us about what you made?
A monster.
Yes, a monster with eyes. I love this.
And this one too. Like, we have a picture of it.
Look at our frog with light up eyes. You guys.
So cute.
Okay, can we give everyone once again a round of applause? Those efforts, amazing. So in 15 minutes, what are some ideas you've come up with that align to your curriculum for the grades you teach? Most of you were 4th grade, but not all. What are some ideas that you could use this type of activity with in addition to teaching about electricity? Any ideas? Yeah, so what are some standards-aligned lessons you could teach in addition to teaching about electricity that you could use with this type of activity?
Well, it's all of it, to do insulators and conductors and circuits, parallel circuits. All of it.
As an artist perspective, I can see so many art standards.
Yes.
Great. So you could find artists that use electricity and explore that.
Beautiful.
I had this idea earlier that I wanted to share. Does anybody like direct their school play or like a dance? Because I was thinking you could create like pieces on the floor that have tape and then put the copper tape on shoes. So when the kids hit a certain mark, things light up. Oh, that'd be cool.
What else?
And one of the kids created something similar to that. So he had like his county report for Utah, and when you stepped on it, it said facts like in his diorama. So yeah, you pushed on it.
Like a museum experience. So Becca and I really quickly will tell you what we made as examples that we did not bring because we forgot that. So I made kind of similar to your birthday card. I made a bumblebee out of shapes. So like the stinger was a triangle, the body was an oval, the wings were triangles, the head was a circle. So just out of basic geometric shapes, I made a picture. And then if you touched the stinger, his antennae lit up. So, and I painted that with the black stripes were painted with conductive paint. So that's how I made it. So if you touched it, the stingers lit up because all of the black was conductive. So that's one way that I integrated a geometry standard, making a larger picture out of smaller shapes. And then Becca, I'm going to let you explain what you did.
Yeah. So there's a couple I want to tell you about. The first one is similar to Kellie's, but it was for middle school math standards. So I made a kind of abstract painting based on different curves and equations, and then painted the different areas, different colors, used some conductive paint, and then hooked it up to this microcontroller called an Arduino that was connected to a little buzzer that could do different tones. And when you press on different areas of the painting, it played music, which is really cool. And then another one, and this kind of goes into something we'll tell you about here in a minute. Everybody at my makerspace wears aprons, and I had an apron that was a over the neck, which is not as comfortable apron, rather than a cross back apron. So now it's retired, but it sits there as a piece of art because there's this cool stuff called conductive thread. It's thread with metals into it. And when you sew, you can sew in like little button batteries. They make sewable button battery packs. I also have a little microcontroller on there, so I've got this picture of this UFO on my apron, and it blinks at different rates, which is really cool. And if you'd like to learn about, that's called e-textiles. We have some opportunities for you to come and learn about that next fall.
Yeah. So some of you might be thinking, I would love to integrate something like this, but you don't have the materials. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew about a grant opportunity we have. I do want you to know that this grant is competitive. So we can't fund everyone that requests, but right now we're at about a 50% fund rate, so we do fund about half. The application opens August 1st and closes September 30th, so you have about 2 months to apply, and you can ask for up to $1,500. My biggest hint would be as specific as you can be. You do have to tell us which standards you're going to be supporting with the activity you propose. And then the next thing that you want to be real specific on is your budget. So like I want to buy this pack of LEDs, and I want to buy 4 rolls of copper tape. Like you want to be as specific as you can be so the reviewers know exactly what you're asking for. That's the big hint. I oversee that project. If you have any questions, please email me. And like I said, that application will open August 1st. And again, you just go to that same website, stem.utah.gov. Under educators, there's a link that says funding opportunities. And that's where you can learn more about that. Yes?
Can you do one grant for more than one project? Or
Yes.
do you prefer that you just do one?
No. As long as it adds up to $1,500 or less, like if you can get 6 projects out of that, go for it. Yeah. Next thing that Becca was referring to are our Saturday Educator Learning Series. Becca and I teach these one Saturday per month. The dates are on that calendar on the resource library launch page. The e-textiles one specifically is in September. So I don't remember the date, but it's September. It's like the 3rd Saturday in September, and it'll be posted tomorrow. So you can sign up for that. We do put a cap on it so we can make sure we can help everyone. They always go from 10 to 1. As you can see, we do one Saturday per month, and we will have August through November posted tomorrow. So we're doing a couple of electronics activities. We're doing a sewer maker activity, and remember, these are always aligned to standards as well. And we try to always have time to also talk about how you can modify it for different grade levels. So we make them as applicable as we can to every teacher that attends. If you're interested, please feel free to register for those activities as well. Last thing, these are our email addresses, and like we said earlier, if you have any questions or comments or have something specific you would like us to brainstorm with you, let us know. We would love to work with you on that. You can also get in touch with us via the STEM Action Center website, stem.utah.gov. Both of us have our email addresses on there as well. You have been wonderful. Thank you so much for trying something new with us today. If you didn't get your activity to work, you can always come back during lunch and we'll help you. But thank you so much. We've really appreciated you.